You're listening to Operation Self Reset with Jake Naraki. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, today we're going to be talking about a personal breakthrough, and that breakthrough has to actually go hand in hand with something that I'm going to be doing this weekend, and that is taking around maybe 50 to 100 people for breaking boards. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because my sister is having her birthday party. She wanted to do something different, and that different included me, her brother, in breaking boards. Now, if you don't know why I am talking about breaking boards, how am I qualified to break boards, all that jazz, the synopsis is, a few years ago, I worked with Tali Birkin. Tali is the individual who taught Tony Robbins how to firewalk and do other crazy things. And Tali showed us how to break boards, walk on glass, do pretty extreme trust falls, break arrows with your neck, and of course, walk on fire. It all sounds ridiculous. And if you are not part of the challenge or the individual who likes to challenge thyself, it would sound ridiculous. And I agree with you. My mom thinks it's nuts. You know, my dad laughs at it. My wife, I don't know. She says she's supportive, but who really knows inside? And of course, through the process, when you start doing things like that, you start breaking boards, walking on glass, walking on fire, breaking arrows with your neck, all different types of stuff, you realize that there are people that are going to support it, and there's people that are going to push away from it. And regardless, you need to kind of just stay in your lane and understand that cars are going to follow you, and cars are going to pass you and or get off the same expressway as you. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because these activities, walking on fire, walking on glass, breaking boards, breaking arrows with your neck, trust falls, are not designed to hurt you. They're not designed to punish you. They're not designed to make you in extreme pain that you freak out, you have your arm in a cast, stitches in your foot or anything like that. These activities are designed to challenge you. And challenge is one of those words that gets thrown around a lot. And we understand what challenge is. You're going through a challenge right now. That's probably why you're listening to this show. Maybe why you follow me is because there's an obstacle in your path and you need to overcome it. But if we rewind the clock for a second of how we all started off, if you're an individual, it doesn't matter your age, we've all came into this world, we all learned how to walk, we all learned how to ride a bike, tie our shoes, read, write, talk to other people, put on clothes, wipe our own tushies, eat, cook, whatever the case is, we've all had challenges. And it's very obvious, right? It's obvious to understand that we've had challenges when we were younger. But there comes a point, it can be from 15 years old to 35 years old, where the challenges are kind of done. You've done them all. Maybe, you're on a vacation, you're in your late 30s, and for the first time you went on a jet ski and you drove a jet ski, and that was challenging to you. But I'm talking about majority, kind of the main categories of life challenges we've overcome. You've gotten jobs, you got fired. You went on dates, you got denied. You married somebody, you had children. You know the challenges involved with raising a family, and then you got divorced and whatever. There's a lot of challenges that a majority of the people in the world have all gone through, and we get that. But there comes a point, it depends on when it is for you, that the challenges, about 90% of the challenges are done with. And there's, of course, daily challenges, right? Like paying the bills and waking up on time, showing to work. But I'm talking about challenges that challenge you internally, challenge you deeper than just the general mill challenges that we all experience. And that is the challenge of doing something extreme. Extreme is obviously breaking boards, walking on glass, firewalking, snapping arrows with your neck, but it doesn't have to be in those categories. It can be, climbing up a mountain, losing 70 pounds, doing 100 burpees under 10 minutes. Whatever the challenge is, there are challenges that we can choose to do. The individual that is listening to the show right now may or may not be willing to partake in a challenge that I know how to perform for you. But it's not so much, are you going to raise your hands? It's if the opportunity comes to you, are you willing to take it? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Maybe you feel good, maybe you don't. Maybe you just got out of wrist surgery and the last thing you want to do is break anything with your wrist and you would, re-injure that wrist and go through the process again. But the question is really, when a challenge comes in front of you, are you willing to take it? Are you willing to challenge yourself to get through it? I don't know. The choice is yours. For example, we all have the ability to get up and sell our house, sell everything we own, and travel to a different city. We all have that choice. And with challenges come choices. We can sell our vehicle or buy a very luxurious vehicle. We have that choice. You can choose to eat the right things or you can choose to eat the wrong things. It is truly a choice. And in our day, we have millions of choices, but a majority of them are the same choices that we choose every single day. Did you know that the average American, the average human, I should say, has between 60 and 80,000 different thoughts every single day? They're conscious and they're subconscious. Out of those thoughts, around 55,000 of those thoughts are the same thoughts that you thought about yesterday and the day before and the day before that, and you've been thinking about this stuff on a daily basis. And they range from, I need to brush my teeth, is it cold outside, is it hot outside, I'm thirsty, I gotta go to the bathroom, of course. But there is hidden in the weeds a lot of choices that we come across that we actually have to pause and think about for a split second. They may be related to your job, they may be related to your family, but most importantly, what are the questions or ideas or things that come into your life when you're alone? When you're sitting there on the couch, when you're thinking, man, I just don't feel good. Man, I don't feel good enough. Man, something's missing. I'm looking for that next thing. Should I buy something? Is it somewhere I should go? Is it something I should be? Is it a book? What's this discovery process like? And should I embark down that journey? Or the choice is, should I sit here on the comfortable couch watching Netflix, and after the show is done, I'm going to go to bed because I need to wake up early the next day? Choices, right? Choices truly run us. Now, bringing it back full force here to the weekends that's coming up, I have the ability to influence 100 people that are going to be in that room and challenge them with the choice of to break a board or to not. Board breaking is designed for everybody to break the board. It's not designed to challenge them to the aspect of, can you break this 1-inch board? Probably you're going to break your arm in the process, but it will be worth it. The board itself is about a half of an inch, and it's pine. And if you look at the side of a board, you can see that there are grooves in that board, almost like the rings of a tree. And with that, you can figure out the best way to break that board depending on where the rings are on that board. And I set it up in a way for everybody to succeed. So it's not designed to see if you're a macho man or a macho woman. It is truly designed for everybody to win. But yet, why is it when we walk up to the stage, when we walk up to that obstacle, when we walk up to that challenge, we still get that gut-turning feeling? Why is it that we still, sweat a little bit? We have emotions. We start questioning, is it worth it? All these different types of things, this is dumb or this is awesome or whatever it is for you. The question is, when the challenge arises, are you willing to step up to the plate and give it a try? Now, I get a lot of questions and a lot of people ask, I'm lost. I don't know where to go. What is it that I'm trying to do? They know that there's a direction that they should go. For some odd reason, all of us have this beacon in the distance that is beeping at us, but yet for some odd reason, we choose not to go for it. We choose not to walk that path. For me, because this is a one-sided conversation, writing books, getting out there more, speaking more, doing what I personally feel I'm designed to do. But why do I instead choose not to? And it would be easy, right? It would be so easy to give this excuses. Well, I have young kids. Well, they're in activities. Well, they're doing things, and I need to focus on my health, and I need to wake up early so I can't stay up too late, and blah, blah, blah. The excuses, excuses, excuses. And I know you do the same because we're humans, right? And the challenge is, if you know there's a beacon in the distance, why aren't you willing to go after it? And there's two ideas here. Number one, you can go, maybe right now is not the right time. Maybe right now is not the right time, right? You've got a young family, financial situation's a mess. You can't do that art project that you've been dying to do, or travel the world, or start that blog, or whatever it is. Or the other thing is, where a lot of people get comfortable, is that some people truly just choose not to go for it. They just know it's not worth the investment. It's not worth the gamble. It's not worth it to them. And they choose to smother out that beacon and to live life like just another day. And that's cool. And that is their choice. But for you, if you're still listening, and if you're listening now or in the future, we all have that choice to either keep on moving forward and to reach that beacon, or we have that choice to just say, forget it. It's not worth it to me. And if you're that individual, I applaud you for making a decision and sticking with it. But for the people that are choosing to go after the challenges, I applaud you also, because you're making a decision to go for it. Now, there's educated decisions. There's decisions that can be planned out and all that different types of stuff. And, there's goals that you can set to, make it manageable so you can work towards it. But getting back to the essence here of the story, when the board is placed on the cinder blocks, are you willing to walk up to it and break it? And again, by breaking a board, your life isn't going to change. By breaking a board, you're not going to have this spiritual release of aha, and you're going to walk that journey towards that beacon. It is more of a fact of, are you willing to get comfortable with the uncomfortable? Are you willing to get comfortable with the uncomfortable? And I think that's the essence of a challenge. The challenge is, are you willing to get comfortable with the uncomfortable? Are you willing to get comfortable of going and asking a man or a woman for their number? Are you willing to get comfortable writing thousands of pages for your book and knowing that you're going to delete 980 of them to get the 20 pages of pure essence and expand on it? Are you willing to get comfortable to finally make a choice to wake your butt up early, to go to the gym, to start losing the weight, to finally get your life on track? Are you willing to get to that level of being comfortable within months of you going to the gym on a regular basis, that you feel confident in the gym clothing, you feel confident going there and knowing what you're doing, to the point of you can be successful in moving forward? That's the obstacle. Walking on fire. It's intimidating, right? It's hot. There's heat. There's ashes in the air. We do it at night, so the coals are glowing, and you got your feet off, and you feel the cold, damp grass beneath your feet. And as you look in front of you, you got 9 feet of ashes, of hot embers. And what have you been told your whole life? Anything that is red is going to be hot. Hot relates to pain. Pain relates to uncomfortable. And the question is, are you willing to get comfortable with the uncomfortable? And I'm not saying you should just stand on coals and feel the pain, embrace it. There are some crazy people out there that really do like pain. They get like highs and endorphin releases off of pain. But for us, the average Joes, they're looking to make the impact in our life. The question still remains, are you willing to get comfortable with the uncomfortable? Going and talking to one person is not going to change your life. Going and talking, or going to one meetup group in an industry or a hobby or a talent that you want to expand upon is not going to change your life. But if you do it on a regular basis, it will. It will change your life. Talking to more than one person will change your life. Going to more than one meeting at Toastmasters to get better as a speaker will change your life. We understand that. We understand practice. The more you practice, the better you are. Practice makes perfect, but perfect practice is, I don't know, there's a great Lombardi quote that I cannot remember as of now, but regardless, we understand the more you practice, the better you get. You can consider it the 10,000 hour rule, or you can just consider it as relentless practicing, that there is no perfection. Every time you go out and do something, it's a practice towards your perfection, however you want to analyze or think about it. So getting back to a birthday wish, an idea of celebrating your birthday with a board breaking or a challenge is, to me, a pretty cool idea. Something different. It's something that will challenge you. And of course, it's something that you will never forget. We know big decisions in our lives we will never forget. The day you get married, a big decision is something you will truly never forget, good or bad, right? You're either with that person or you got a divorce. Regardless, you still remember that. Having a child, getting your first car, your first job, walking into class your first time, giving a presentation that you knew you weren't prepared for, taking an SAT exam, a big test. There are true big pinnacle moments that you will never forget. And those you push through, those you did. But now, as you're older and you've completed a lot of these challenges, I guarantee you haven't challenged yourself recently. You haven't challenged yourself enough. And for me, I'm preaching to my own choir. I've done a good job. I feel I'm providing good content for you guys to listen to, but at the same time, I haven't challenged myself enough to get to the level where I want to go. And so for you, you can think mentally, what is the board that you need to break? Is it to get over the fear? Is it to get over the I'm a not enough syndrome? Is it to get over the idea that you may fail? To get over the idea of there's pain involved? What is it that you need to break through for yourself? And when you figure that out, you feel relieved, but at the same time, that's where the work starts. There's a great speaker. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary speaks a lot about, doing the work, get work done. He's all about positivity. He's all about understanding that if you think well, you'll do well, but at the end of the day, he's a results guy. He understands the only way to reach whatever it is that you're going for, you need to put in the work. And that's very true, right? You can manifest blue skies. You can manifest the check coming to you in the mail. You can manifest, people raising you up on their shoulders. But until you actually go out and do the work and get in front of people, it will never manifest into anything. I think vision boards are great. I think planning out your life is great. I think there are a lot of great things, but at the end of the day, you need to move forward. Like I said in the last podcast, putting one foot in front of the next is the only way to get to the top. There's people that are put there with helicopters and escalators and elevators, but those people just look around, they don't appreciate the journey, and they go back down looking for a taller mountain to scale while you and I continue to walk and to embrace the challenges and to embrace the suck. And so, the question I have for you once again, are you willing to get comfortable with the uncomfortable? What board needs to break in your life? If a board is in front of you, how are you going to approach it? Are you going to approach it scared? Are you not going to like the challenge? Or are you willing to go all out? Give it your all. Because the biggest thing that I see people do is when they want to break a board and they understand that they need to force their fist through a piece of wood, is there are two things that happen. Number one, they stand over it and you can see it in their eyes that they're not going to break it because they already made the decision that they're not going to break the board because of the not enough syndrome. I'm not strong enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have the right technique. I'd never done this before. I am a woman. I'm weak. I'm a man that has weak bones. I don't have good calcium. All these different things fly into their mind, and what happens? They try. They try. We are built, a society, a world built on give it a try. We try to break the board, and what happens? It doesn't break because we already made the decision going into this obstacle that I'm not going to break the board. I will try to break the board, but I know I'm not going to break the board. That's one. Two, there are people that walk up to that thing and know that they're going to give it 110%. You can see it in their fists. You can see it in their body language. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it literally in their hair. They just know that they're going to be able to crush it and they're going to be able to push through. And those are the type of people that embrace challenges. Those are the type of the people that understand that to move through a challenge, they need to give it 110%. Have you ever witnessed two rams out in the wild fighting each other? Now, rams in the wild, when it's during mating season, rams will literally put their heads down and they will run full force into each other. And they will crack each other's heads so hard it will echo through the mountains of Montana or wherever these rams are. And the interesting part is that if you witness two rams or you watch two rams hitting each other, neither of them are injured. Why? Because they both went 100%. And equal forces hitting together will distribute equally. And sure, they're both probably a little rattled, but because both went at full speed, they're both okay. But what if, for example, one of the rams is going 100%, the other is going 75%? Well, that Rams going 75% is going to get lit up. It's going to get injured. A horn might crack. It's going to get concussed. It's going to flip over backwards, and it's going to run off into the woods. And obviously, that Ram that gave 100% is going to get the female and continue sharing its body with the world. I don't even know how to consider that National Geographic story of how rams mate, but regardless, we understand that concept very well. When we were young, we had challenges in our way. We went in with 100%. Even if you were nervous and scared and kind of on the fence, you still went in with that 100% internal energy to conquer it, to at least pass it through. And unfortunately, we've gotten weak throughout our times. If you're an older generation and you're looking how to break through, how to get unstuck, it's not that you can't do it, it's just that you haven't done it in a while. At my latest event, there were all different types of people. There were young kids to older individuals, and the older individuals had the most trouble breaking through the boards. And it was because the challenges that they faced. Now, let me be clear that there was a old woman that was a part of the group, and she crushed it. I think she was late 60s, early 70s, and she pushed her hand through that board, and she was like a firecracker. I mean, she literally blew her arm right through that piece of board, and she was ecstatic. So I'm not saying that all women that are older are not going to be able to break boards, but what I'm saying is that for some odd reason, we've gotten too comfortable with our daily-to-day life that when it does come down to it of us trying to get unstuck, trying to move forward, it's not that we can't, it's just that we haven't done it in a while. And that's where I want to leave you guys. Is that if you're trying to or choosing to go on a path of the unknown, to move in a direction that you feel that you're pulled towards or you know you need to go down, it isn't that you can't do it. It isn't that you don't have the right skills or the know-how. It's that you just haven't challenged yourself in that degree in a long time. And you're going to have the same butterflies, the same nervous issues, the same stomach turning, growling that you once had as a kid. But when you were a kid, you did it so many times, you got in so many awkward situations that by today's standards, you don't even know what that feels like anymore. And so the lesson plan for today, the challenge that I have for you is to go out there and to challenge yourself, to do something different. And there is a great little challenge that is very easy to do, and it's at your next restaurant that you choose to go to, a Chipotle or Panera, Starbucks, maybe a chain restaurant that you go to for lunch or dinner or breakfast or whatever, is to ask for a discount at the cash register. Now, it sounds ridiculous, and it's called the 10% challenge. And say you have to ask the waiter or waitress or the individual taking your order, can I have a 10% discount today? And it's just a question. That's all it is. And they're going to be like, what? No, you have a coupon code or anything like that? You'll say no, and you'll most likely get rejected. But when was the last time that you got rejected? It's been a long time. Because you don't want to get rejected. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to try to break the board because what if you can't break the board? You'll be rejected. And rejection sucks. It hurts. It doesn't feel good. But rejection is what creates a foundation for you to step off of and to keep on moving forward. Rejection is what you should be searching for. There's a great book. It says, go for no, go for no. And the idea behind it is it's a selling book, and if you're trying to sell something, don't be going for the yeses, go for the nos, because with every no, you will, at some point, get a yes. And the yes is creating a breakthrough for that challenge. So that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate your time. I thank you for being a part of Operation Self Reset. Hopefully, I will have a wonderful experience at my sister's 40th birthday party, but the idea still remains the same. Challenge yourself. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Do something a little bit different, and I guarantee results will come to you. And results will come big or small, But regardless, you're challenging yourself. And when you challenge yourself, no matter your age, you will continue to grow. And the more growth, the better you will be. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So with that being said, thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next week, Wednesday, for another great episode of Operation Self Reset.